ẹni tó bá sọ pé Ọ̀ṣun àná ó bẹ́tà ju Ọ̀ṣun èní, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún ládùúrà kan o, pé lágbára Ọlọ́run Ọ̀ṣun àná ò ní kúrò nílé rẹ̀ o, yóò mọ experience ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká, let's just leave it like that. That if Osun State yesterday is better than Osun State today, that is a prayer, and I want them to sincerely say amen. And the candidate of All Progressive Congress, I want him to also say amen to that prayer. The former governor of Osun State, I want him to say yes to that prayer. The former deputy governor of Osun State, I want him to say yes to that prayer, that as Osun was yesterday, that kind of yesterday will remain permanently in their house.
All right, welcome back to another episode on FreeFlow Podcast, brought to you by RK Records. It's been a wonderful week with one episode to other. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's been following, putting your likes there, your comments means a whole lot to us. We want to say thank you for the new followers. We want to say thank you for those that has been taking their time to follow all our content. Thank you so very much. And thank you for always sharing. Keep sharing while we keep doing the thing. You understand it? Welcome back to this episode. We're going to be talking about good governance and political branding. As Governor Adeleke Ademola truly earned a second term, we all know that the sitting governor of Osun State, in person of Governor Ademola Adeleke, is actually looking at coming again for his second term. But the question is, does it truly, or has it truly deserve to come for the second time? But real quick, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to another exciting episode of the FreeFlow Podcast, where we ask the question everyone is thinking, but few are bold to talk about. Today, we're talking about politics, governance, and performance. Governor Ademola Adeleke has been in office for some time now. They're about 3 years plus, running into 4 years in about a month or two. Now, the opinions of people, the opinions of the citizens of Osun State lies on, are we going to bring back the governor, or we should look for a new governor? Has this administration truly delivered enough to deserve another 4 years, or is there still more promise than performance? To help us break it down, we have a special guest who strongly believes Ademola Adeleke has earned another term. Welcome to the show. Now, quickly, I'd like to introduce my guest to the house this day. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Now, for those that are meeting you for the very first time, can you please help me introduce yourself in full?
Yeah, my name is Comr Pelumi Adiranti, popularly known as ADR.
ADR. Sorry, can we get what is the ADR?
About?
Yes, the full meaning of the ADR.
It's Adiranti.
Okay, Adiranti. So you just had to...
Yeah,
all right.
Abbreviation of my surname.
Now, quickly, you are a strong follower of Governor Ademola Adeleke. Before we dive into the questions we have, what can you truly say so far about Governor Ademola Adeleke in 1 minute? Let's just briefly say that.
Yeah, well, congratulations to the people of Osun State. That I must start with, because to the glory of God, this is the very first time in Osun State that people will be truly enjoying good governance, how it should be, and how governance should be like in every aspect of governance. In every aspect of governance, politics, economic, and everything. So congratulations to the people of Osun State. Governor Ademola Adeleke is one of the best things that is happening to them right now.
At the moment.
At the moment, yes.
All right, so let's dive into the questions I have here for you. First off, let's begin with the big picture. If you had just 1 minute to convince someone who hasn't been following politics, how would you summarize Governor Ademola Adeleke's performance since taking office?
Actually, there is quite a lot of things to say, and I doubt how you can possibly convey a statement to divine what the goodness which Governor Ademola Adeleke has done to the people of Osun State. There is no how you can divine it in 1 minute or with one statement. But what I can say is that there is nothing possible in governance that should be used to divine any performing governor or any performing government that Governor Ademola Adeleke has not done.
So you're trying to tell me that everything that a good governor should possess, and
Every
Governor Ademola Adeleke has been able to put it down.
quality, talking of governance, politics, economy, welfare of the people, talking of anything that a governor that the people should enjoy from that person, then trust with their vote. There is absolutely nothing Governor Ademola Adeleke.
All right, now let's talk about this. Every administration promises change. Yeah. If you during campaign they come on board, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'd like to take you back to the debate between Governor Ademola Adeleke and the past governor of Osun State, where they were in a debate where the governor actually said, "Oh, this thing we're going to do it. This payment we're going to do it. This pin," and he's been able to do that. He's been able to prove that he can actually do it. Now, looking at Osun today, compared to when this government came into office, what would you say has changed the most significantly?
Supernatural infrastructure. I think that is one of the major things that Osun is wearing now. And actually, coming to all sense of humility, if not because it is compulsory and it is a must for us or for media houses or for us as an educationist or as an individual, if not because it is a must for us to actually accrue the title of a past governor, I mean a former governor, to anybody who has served in the capacity of being a governor, I don't think the past administration should be ever called a former governor in this state. I mean, Governor Oyetola himself, because that man did not just fail, he failed woefully as a governor. He failed woefully. And that is the reason why him, as a sitting governor, could not see what an incoming governor, Ademola Adeleke, could see that time on that debate. Okay. That is why he could not see it. Because, him being there, he has no practical experience. He has no understanding of the position he's occupying. He has no understanding about governance, about politics. So he's just there.
No,
so
permit me to do this with you. He was able to govern the state for 4 years, right? He was able to govern the state for 4 years. So if you say that he did not understand governance, he did not know what he was doing on seat. So how was he able to govern the state for 4 whole years?
Of course, he don't use the word he was able to govern. He was only there as the title bearer of the governor of the state. And meanwhile, we can't have two governors in the state. So he's only been he only owed that title as a governor. He did not govern us well. Go and check the histories when he was there. Go and check a lot of things, a lot of chaotic things that happened in this state during his time. Should we talk about infrastructural development? Do you want us to talk about security challenge? Do you want us to talk about many things? It is during his administration that NSAS, that turns the whole country around, started. It is due to his failure as a governor of not being able to provide adequate security for the state.
Okay. Now, people often hear politicians make claims, but citizens want evidence. If everyone asks you to mention specific projects that prove this administration has performed, which one would you point to first?
I can't point at one because all of them are enormous. I'm going to talk about the double lane from Old Garage to Lameko here. That's one. I'm going to talk about Olaya flyover bridge. I'm going to talk about Lameko flyover bridge. I'm going to talk about Ilesha, the double lane that started from
let's get something straight. You just mentioned Olaya flyover bridge.
Sorry, Okefia flyover bridge.
Okay.
That's actually not a flyover anyways. That's a commercial bridge.
All right. So if you're telling me right now that the project we've been able to see is the bridge here, the bridge there.
You actually caught me because I can go on
and
right,
on and on. You have the floor. It's a free flow. Let's go.
Of course, yes. So there is double lane from Ilesha Palace down to the express of Ibadan, whatever express with that express, that normal Akure Express road.
Yeah.
From the front of the palace, there is a double lane. The same thing happens in Iwo Today, the governor is commissioning a double lane that link Ejigbo to Iwo, to some certain towns and villages in that area. And come to talk of, there is no local government in Osun State today that Governor Ademola Adeleke did not give them an enormous project. There is no local government. Just, I dare anybody to tell me any local government in Osun State that Governor Ademola Adeleke has not touched, like massively, that he has not touched. There is no local government.
All right. Some project looked impressive today, but creating lasting value. Which of the projects do you believe will have the biggest long-term impact on the people of Osun State, and why do you think it will?
Of course, there is none of those projects that will not have a last longing or whatever in people's mind, and that will not serve the people of the state. I could remember before Governor Ademola Adeleke started the double lane of Old Garage to Lameko here. There was a day that I have an appointment, and then I was rushing down to somewhere, and there was rain that day. So apparently there was traffic. Do you know that day I drove from Lameko to Old Garage? I spent 3 hours. If I'm lying, go and ask Nature Creation. There was a day he had similar experience and he posted it online. Yemi Nature. So every project executed by the governor is enough. There is none of them that we don't need. Is it the flyover in Okefia that we don't need? Is it the flyover in Lameko here? If you are used to Lameko, you will know how accidents used to reoccur in that place before that flyover. Now there's flyover, now there's a light. And is it people of Ilesha that you are going to tell that they have not given them something that will last longer? Or is it the people of Iwo? Or is it the people of Ejigbo? Or is it the people of Ede? Or is it which of them? Is it the people of Ikire that will say that, oh, the project has been executed by the governor, they don't need it to? So there's none of them that are not enormous.
Okay, now, so let's come to the civil society. Civil servants and pensioners are often the first to feel the effect of any government. What practical improvements have they experienced under Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration?
Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, that this is the first time that the people of Osun State would be enjoying true governance. Like, this is the first time. Before this state used to be a state of civil servants. They used to believe that, any governor that comes, in as much as he's taking care of civil servants, the rest should be history. But that's not the case in Governor Ademola Adeleke regime. Is it infrastructure? Is it welfare? Is it that pension that you're talking about? If not that the civil servants cannot be carrying placard like this, I'm sure all of them, giving them option, about 99.9% of them, we want Governor Ademola Adeleke to come on board. Now, let me talk about the salary implementation, the minimum wages implementation. Go and check it. Osun is the second most effective, most pragmatic, and the beneficiary of minimum wage salary implementation. They are not just taking 70,000 naira. It is not just 70,000 naira increment. Now, I'm going to give you an instance. I have a junior brother who works with the state government. Before Governor Adeleke emerged, he is earning 75,000 naira. Now, after the implementation of the minimum wages, he's earning about 158,000 naira. Is that a plus of 70,000? No. That is it. It is more than 70,000 naira. So now, and again, the pensioners. Is it during Raouf Aregbesola regime that you want to talk about, or is it the Oyetola's regime? If they are talking of, I'm not joking when I say that this is the first time during Aregbesola regime, the people of Osun State, of course, they could see some massive projects implemented and executed by Governor Raouf Aregbesola. But what about the stomach infrastructure? That was that period, that time happens to be one of the most grievous moment of the civil servants in this state. That is, if you ask any civil servant today, they would never pray for that moment to come. It was a time that from January to October, a civil servant did not receive a dime as a salary. Before him and the Oyetola as chief of staff come again to say that, okay, fine, no, let's introduce half salary. Is it that kind of government that you want to be using to compare the government who has never owed salary, a month salary? Not, he has never owed a month salary. He has implemented minimum wages. He's taking care of the civil servants. He's taking care of the pensioners. Pensioners are now receiving their gratitude as at when due. As at when due. I have my aunt he retired about 10 years ago, and it was during Ademola Adeleke's regime that he was able to get what is due for him 10 years ago. If that kind of person did not have one or two things that is living on, what is that person supposed to be eating? No. Do you know how many people that have died? Why will you, if you are truly a leader, the concerns of your people should be your most priority. Even the Bible tá ń kà gan, ó jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé ká má ṣe jẹ́ kí àgún aláàrú kó gbẹ. That is it. So àwọn Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá tó jẹ́ ká àgún aláàrú gbẹ, Oyetola tó jẹ́ kí àgún aláàrú gbẹ, la fẹ́ fi wé Adeleke tí ò tiẹ̀ jẹ́ kán láàgùn débi pé yóò tiẹ̀ dúró pé ká àgún wọn gbẹ kó tó di pé ó fún wọn lẹ́ẹ̀tọ́ wọn. So,
okay, I think to a large extent you've been able to answer some of those questions. Yeah. So let's go to the youth aspect. Young people makes up a huge percentage of Osun's population. What opportunities has this administration created for the youth in terms of employment, entrepreneurship, education, and empowerment?
We've done a lot, most especially through the agency that I work for, Osun State, OSIPA, Osun State Investment Promotion Agency. Through that agency alone, in fact, you will know that governor truly love the youth in the state. And looking at things, even this company that I am today, RK Records, how he was unable to survive this business during our people's regime, which are APC. But looking at it today, God has given him the chance and the opportunity to scale through. There are always hard moments in the state, understood. But there will be time that a good governance will contribute to the livelihood. And that is the moment we are today. Hardly will you see any entrepreneur that is not scaling it through in this regime. There is nothing like unnecessary tax box on them. Or if I'm lying, let anybody challenge me. If you're an entrepreneur and you are in this state, come and tell me that enormous taxes you are paying by the state government compared to other states. And you can go home at every night to have your both eyes closed because there is security. Look at all the expensive gadgets you have here. Just imagine that it is almost every 3 months or every 2 months that you used to experience armed robbery incident here. Would this business still be holding? No. So, in terms of opportunity, even we that we are in governance, in some years past in this state, can some of us be opportune to serve the state based on our intellectual capacity? Who will give us that chance? Who will? The Speaker of the House of Assembly is a youth. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly is a youth. The Commissioner of Youth in this state is a youth.
No, the Commissioner for Youth should be a youth.
Is it like that in some administration in this state? Is it like that? It's not like that. It's not like that in some administration in this state. I don't want to mention names because one of my egbe happens to be a commissioner, somebody that is supposed to be a commissioner for agriculture during a certain regime was a commissioner for youth. And I know his age as at that time.
Wow.
I know his age as at that time. He's my very good egbe, so I don't want to mention his name because he's going to come here and say, why did you have to do that?
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's make this little more direct. Can the opposition honestly say they left Osun State in better condition than it is today? What makes you say yes or no to that?
There is none of them that will say that. It is as simple as ABC now. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ Yorùbá. Ẹni tó bá sọ pé Ọ̀ṣun àná ó bẹ́tà ju Ọ̀ṣun èní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fún ládùúrà kan o. Pé lágbára Ọlọ́run, Ọ̀ṣun àná ò ní kúrò nílé rẹ̀ o. Yóò mọ experience ẹ̀. Let's just leave it like that. That if Osun State yesterday is better than Osun State today, that is a prayer. And I want them to sincerely say amen. And the candidate of All Progressive Congress, I want him to also say amen to that prayer. The former governor of Osun State, I want him to say yes to that prayer. The former deputy governor of Osun State, I want him to say yes to that prayer. That as Osun was yesterday, that kind of yesterday will remain permanently in their house. There is none of them that will say amen. How will you say that Osun yesterday is better than Osun today? Osun yesterday is better than the double lane from Old Garage to Lameko. Osun yesterday is better than the flyover we have in Okefia. Osun yesterday is better than the flyover bridge we have in Lameko. That Osun yesterday is better than the double lane that is just been commissioned today between the double lane of Iwo, Jigbo, and other local towns around that places. Osun of yesterday is better than the double lane that exists in Ilesha. Osun yesterday is better than the flyover that was in Ife. Today, nobody will say that. The Osun of yesterday, that salary that workers are given promotion without a penny being added to their salary. Osun of yesterday, that no staff like the level 1 to level 3 in this state are not going home with 30,000 naira. Is it that kind of Osun of yesterday that you want to pray for again? God forbid APC against in this state. I think one of the prayer and that should be prayed, that every one of us as a citizen of this state should be praying right now, is that God, don't let us see and don't let us feel, not even see, don't let us feel, don't let us feel us ever having APC again in this state. They are not just, I call them occultic party. I call them calamity party. I call them wicked party. I call them inhuman party. Because all of these attributes, all of the attributes that devil have that makes God send him down from heaven. All
right. All right, so now quickly, as we move close to another election, voters compare records, not just promises. When people compare Governor Ademola Adeleke's achievements with what the opposition is offering, why should they choose continuity instead of change?
Thank you so much. Like I've said, I think some of my answer captivates this question that you asked. There is nobody. Why did we need change? Now, the reason why change exists or change can exist is if things is not going on well. Think about that. I'm a gbàdúrà for change, right? Think about that. Kí ló máa gbàdúrà fún? Continuity, right? Ṣé wọ́n tó ti ní mọ́tò, ó fẹ́ gbàdúrà pé k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó máa lọ gọ̀kadà padà? Àbí wọ́n tó ti jẹ́ landlord, ó fẹ́ gbàdúrà pé kó lọ di tenant ni? So if we are going to be praying any prayer at all in this state, the prayer should be continuity. There is nothing, we change. Even the federal government, we change. Have they been able to implement ever since they come to power? How did you and I want to tell our children? How do you want to tell your child? How do I want to tell my child that as of May 2023, a liter of fuel is being sold for 169 naira per liter? When I was coming here, I know how much I bought fuel. As at last month, we bought it for 1,300 plus. As of today, it's just 1,200 something plus. Now, how do you explain to your child do you know that in the olden days, before they experienced that kind of economic imbalance or changes in the states or in the country as a whole, they always have like a long span of maybe 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, so that is when in the 80s, in the 70s. But today, as close as 2023, May 29, 2023, a liter of fuel is being sold for 169. And today, 2026, just 3 years plus, we know how much we are buying it. So if that kind of party is now coming to the state level and say, they are bringing change, what kind of change are you coming to kill us? They can't have any change in their pocket than dagger, jigger, gun, sledgehammer. Like, because there is no, what we need now is continuity. Continuity, because everything is working perfectly right now in our state.
All right. On the final note, I'd like to say that let's get your final note for those who will be watching this. What do you have to tell them? Election is coming. It needs to be free and fair, peaceful, as much as it can be, so that the people can come out and mass to vote. So, in your final note, kindly help us address the citizens who will be watching on what you think is right for everybody to do.
Well, I would never and ever support anything that is not free and fair. And the only way you can be scared for free and fair election is when you know you are not a better candidate. If you're a better candidate and what you have done or your antecedent in the state, perhaps the office you've held in the past, is if you are so sure of your deliveries, then there should not be anything that will be scaring you off about free and fair election. So I just want to advise the citizens, go out, vote massively for a court party, for Governor Ademola Adeleke. If you are just joining this program, Governor Ademola Adeleke has delivered in terms of governance, in terms of economic value, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of empowerment, in terms of everything, in terms of security. Look at the level of security we have been enjoying in this state 3 years ago. Not until these people came on board now and they want to truncate the security of the state. That is because they are not so sure of themselves. So please, young, old, men, women, and everybody in the state, I would just want to appeal to us. Let us do free and fair election. I know, I can read people's mind. I know they are going to vote Accord Party. Of course. So go there, vote Accord Party, go vote Governor Ademola Adeleke, and go to your house. If anybody wants to use you as an instrument to cause chaos, as an instrument of destruction, please don't do it. For the sake of your sanity, for the sake of your children's sanity, for the sake of the state's sanity. Because anything you do today, you are writing an history of your life. As that of 4 years ago, we know some names that we can mention. And where are they today? And in the next 4 years, where do you want people to mention your name? Do you want them to mention your name in such a place that people will be cursing you and your generation? Or you want people to mention your name in such a place that they will be praying for you? So please go out, vote. After voting, go to your house and make sure you vote Accord Party, Governor Ademola Adeleke. God be with you.
Thank you very much for being part of the FreeFlow Podcast today. It's been a very wonderful conversation with you. And I hope too well that we'll still come back here to discuss more.
Of course.
On a good day. Thank you.
Of course.
All right, on that note, I'd like to say a very big thank you to everybody who's been glued to their screen watching this particular episode. I will always say it's been a very wonderful, interesting conversation, and we have heard arguments in support of Governor Ademola Adeleke administration. Whether you are convinced or not, one thing remains true. Democracy works best when citizens ask questions, demand accountability, and vote based on fact rather than emotions. Thank you to our guest, like I said, for joining us today and sharing your perspective. And to everyone watching or listening, we love to hear from you. So please do well to like, share, comment, put your opinion there. It's very, very important. We'll not take it more than that on the podcast today. Free Flow brought to you by RK Records. I'd like to say thank you to everybody once more who's been watching, following, and everything. My name is Emmyjay. I'll see you at the other episode. Good day.